السيد الرئيس السيدات والسادة.
President, ladies and gentlemen, I am speaking to you on behalf of the President of the Council, on behalf of the Presidency of Libya, Mr. Mohammed al-Hanfi, who was unable to attend. This is due to the disaster that Libya is currently undergoing. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. Excellencies, Your Excellency Dennis Francis, President of the General Assembly, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to begin by expressing my condolences to the people of Libya. I wish to do so personally. I convey my full sympathy and my deepest condolences to the families of the victims of the flooding and torrential rains in the region of Jabal Akbar, especially in the villages, in the towns of Derna, Baida, and Susa. I also wish to convey my condolences to the people of Morocco and to His Majesty the King and to the government of Morocco following the earthquake in several Moroccan cities. I ask God to speed the recovery of the injured, God who is omnipotent. Ladies and gentlemen, I am speaking to you, conveying the voice of Libya. Libya, which is in the throes of a disastrous tragedy. I'm speaking on behalf of the Libyan people with heavy hearts, weighed down with sadness. And on the 10th of September, the Libyans and the entire world saw a terrible spectacle. This was a disaster that hit the city of Derna, and it struck us, especially after the tragedy that befell the villages in the east of the country. This is a tragedy that claimed thousands of lives in this city, in this region. People are still missing or dead. The costs will run into the millions, and the torrential rains carried away a quarter of the city. The government has gone, the national government, the National Unity Government has gone to great effort, so has the army, so has the entire country, to cope with this disaster, to evacuate the people, to extract those who are still covered up by the rubble, to bury the dead, to address the health situation in the city. The scale of the disaster has fully surpassed all local capacity. I want to briefly address the kindred countries and the friendly countries that have provided their assistance. I wish to convey my gratitude to those countries who have sent us rescue teams, who have provided us with medical and logistical assistance. I therefore thank everyone who responded to our call among the kindred and friendly countries. I thank all of the heads of state, those that conveyed their condolences to us. Speaking from this high rostrum, I call upon the world to live up to its responsibility to Libya in order to help cope with the aftermath of this disaster. In particular, to take the necessary health measures to protect the survivors in the city of Derna and the adjoining cities in order to avert a health disasters that experts are warning about. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest values are born from the greatest suffering. So the disaster of Derna and the other villages, the breath of the Libyan people, the spirit of unity and solidarity, this is all coming into play. Since the tragedy, the Libyan people from the far south to the far north set aside their political divisions and set aside the civil war in order to be reborn. in order to transcend the wounds of the past, and in order to set course toward the future, to see through the eyes of future generations rather than through the eyes of politicians and merchants of war. This doubtless is the lesson that we need to pass on to our children, to avoid repeating the errors of that generation. The souls of the people of Derna are turning their eyes, are turning toward reconciliation, the unification of the city. Ladies and gentlemen, our people has set an example through its solidarity and its unity, through its national cohesion, through its responsibility. These voices must be heard. It is time for democracy to begin in Libya, grounded in the will of the people and in sincerity, thanks to the support of the friendly countries of Libya, the United Nations, the AU, and the League of Arab States. It is therefore necessary to carry out elections to ensure unified authority, free elections with the logistical support that is needed. In conclusion, Libya doesn't need any more weapons so we can kill each other. All of the hotbeds of tension, all of the sites of conflict that were spurred on by adverse conditions, all of this has been carried away by the torrents of Jabal Akbar, and a new era has been born. The only thing that is needed is the voice of the people, only the best interests of the fatherland, and there is no place for the corrupt and for the merchants of war. To Allah belongs the command ever before and ever after. I thank you.
I thank the Minister.